everyone, this is Emanuele from Italy, but you know me better as Evil Dead Italia, and tonight we have the one and only Dana DeLorenzo.
Oh, ciao! Ciao, Evil Dead Italia. Emanuele. Come
Ciao
stai?
Dana, I'm fine, and you? How are you?
Ah, va bene, va bene.
That's great,
Very
that's
good.
great.
I see. Those are all the things I know. Those are all the Italian words I know. I'm a
Wow.
terrible Italian and
No,
Sicilian.
you are very good, and your pronunciation is is fine.
Ah, grazie mille. But when I went to Italy, I got very excited because other Italians from like when I was in, say, Venice, I met a guy from Torino.
Yeah.
And he started speaking to me. Like a lot of people just started speaking to me in Italian, thinking I was a local. I'm like, oh, I look like I belong because I do, my people. But then I was like, parli inglese, per favore. But I did learn my favorite expression.
That is?
Ma che cazzo. Ma che
Yeah.
cazzo. Am I not allowed to say that on here?
Yeah, it's a great exclamation.
It is. So for all the non-Italian speaking, I mean, are we allowed to swear? I'll censor myself, but it means what the F. And
Yes.
I always said like fa fanculo. Where does it know? Ma fa fanculo.
Yes, like fuck off.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
is like a fuck.
Okay, so we can't swear. But ma che cazzo with that double Z, it's like so good. I love it. I love saying, I say it all the time by myself, like instead of what the fuck now, or what I will literally, if I stub my toe, I'm like, ma che cazzo, che cazzo. Anyway.
We have a huge quantity of bad words here.
Perfetto. That's why we get along, Emanuele.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I have a lot of a question for you, but let's start with the easiest. This is the easiest one.
Easiest. I talk forever, so cut me off, by the way. I talk too much.
Absolutely. I'll
set timers for myself.
So, it's been almost 10 years since Ash vs. Evil Dead first aired. But how long has it been since you wrapped filming your last scenes? Does it feel like yesterday or like a lifetime ago? I mean,
it feels like 2 years ago. In what my brain thinks of as 2 years. If I had to guess just based on feeling, it feels like we stopped filming 2 years ago, or it feels like, it feels very recent. But like it feels long. It feels like a little bit of time, but not 10 years. Like I don't know. I think with the pandemic and everything that we there was some sort of time warp, and Earth is spinning faster on its axis or something now, because it definitely does not feel like a decade. And when I think you had asked, when did we? So yeah, when did we stop filming or start? Because when we started filming was actually
even start.
Yeah, we started in the whole process started in January, the audition process, and then I remember I think it was over Easter weekend. I could be wrong, but I remember it was like the first week of April when we were flown to New Zealand. And I'm trying to think, it might have been a week or two after that we started shooting, because there was pre-production. You know, we had to start doing fittings for wardrobe and stunt practice and all that stuff. And also, you know, we're being put up, you know, how to find a place to live in New Zealand, all of those things, right? And it was all so wonderful and exciting and new. But then so we started in April 2015. I think we wrapped at August 2015, and then first episode aired Halloween, October 31st, 2015. And then we stopped. Then we started like a little bit earlier, season 2. I think we started filming in February of 2016 for season 2. Anyway, we stopped filming in 2017. And then I believe the show started airing in 2018 and wrapped in 2018, which is still crazy to me. Yeah, I can't believe it's been that long.
So it was very fast paced. I mean, the filming.
Well, yeah, we were basically in New Zealand, give or take like 5-6 months out of each year. I mean, but it was a whirlwind because then we'd be coming back and we were doing all the, San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, all these other events and promos in between. So really it was just that's all we were really doing, which was wonderful. Like that's why it feels like it wasn't that long ago, because for basically 4 years, if you count, then the year after, like just it, seeing everybody and being with, Bruce and Ray and everybody, it's just, it feels that it was longer, but, the show itself, yes, I would say when we shot the very first episode, which is a longer episode, it's about 43 minutes, I think, that was the only one that Sam Raimi directed. And what was so wonderful about that, besides having the great Sam Raimi direct all of us, or direct, for me, I'll speak from my point of view, to direct me. That was a thrill. We did something that I've never done on any shoot ever, which was we shot in order. Like usually when, I'm sure you've heard this before, when people shoot films or television, especially television shows, a lot of times you are shooting the ending before the beginning. And so that's why, as an actor, you better know what the story is and where your character's at in each part of the story. But with Sam, we got to shoot in order, and we got to move pretty slow. I wouldn't say slow, but comparatively to what happened from the Friday that we stopped filming with Sam to Monday, starting on season 1, episode 2. That was a whirlwind, because then we were shooting so quickly. Like we basically were shooting 2 episodes at the same time within 2 weeks. So you might be shooting a scene from episode 2 on Monday and a scene from episode 3 on Tuesday, but it was like 2 episode blocks, right? But with Sam, we had 22 days to film 1 episode with the other directors. And it got a little, once we knew what to expect, it got a little bit easier because it managed expectations. But I'll tell you, my head was spinning, and not because I was possessed, but it was pretty insane. It's like going in turbo mode when you started out going kind of, you had multiple takes, and Sam would be so great about giving different direction for each take, and every take would be different. And it was just like delightful in that sense. And then it was crazy fast.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I wrote an essay about the history of the franchise, sadly just in Italian. And I remember the fact that the first episode takes almost all the time at the same time the whole 9 episodes took, circa.
Not to film, like I said, so it would have been like basically, let's see, 20. So that's I got to do math. Hold on. 4 weeks. So that would have been basically, yeah. I mean, I see what their analogy is. If it took 22 days to shoot the first episode, and we only got 5 days, if you break it down, per other episode. So then we basically filmed 4 episodes in the amount of time it took the first one. Yeah, I see. Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
You're very, that's right. But in a way, I actually think it was good. As much as it was difficult to adjust to, at least the first season for me, I think it was great because it didn't give, shoot first, think never, in terms of shoot film first and then think never. It's good in a sense of, for me and for, as Dana, the actor playing Kelly, I did feel like I was kind of thrown into it and had no idea what I was doing. And and that's very similar to Kelly's journey, right? She kind of gets, sorry, I just realized I talk with my hands and I'm hitting the table, and that's why it's like shaking. Sorry.
You're Italian, so it's normal.
I'll try and keep it here. But it lended itself to kind of just like having to figure it all out as I went along. and missing the mark sometimes and failing a lot of times, but just learning on the job. This, which was great in a way because it paralleled Kelly's journey of just learning on the fly of how to deal with deadite. So in a way, it was a great training experience, and it didn't make you. It let at least me. Sometimes I overthink, and then it's not good. Sometimes it's good just to go on your instinct and just beat some deadites and just see what comes out when you're beating someone a deadite head with a meat tenderizer, and you're like, bah, and it's just rage. Sometimes you just need to go with that instead of not this, it's
yes, thinking. Yeah,
exactly.
And so it was a ride, substantially, basically, right?
That's exactly.
So the thing is, how much did you know the franchise before filming? After filming, you know a lot because you even have convention with actors from different movies and etc. But before the filming the series, how much did you know the franchise?
I mean, I knew enough in the sense of I had seen before I auditioned. I had seen and enjoyed Army of Darkness. I saw it in high school, didn't really get it. Saw it again in college after the guy I was dating rented Bubba Hotep. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, hey, it's that boomstick guy. And so he had me I really appreciate him, that boyfriend of that very short time in college, because I told him I didn't get Army of Darkness because my older guy friends when I was in high school, they were just my best friends, and they rented it, and I just didn't get it in high school. I just didn't think it was funny, or didn't really get it. But then I saw it again in college after watching Bubba Hotep and really liking that and liking Bruce. And so I really did enjoy Army of Darkness when I saw it again. And then I had seen Evil Dead 2 at some point, for sure. I hadn't seen the first one. I watched the first one the night before my screen test, which what I didn't know. I'll tell you this. By the time I got to filming, I knew enough. I didn't maybe know all the Easter eggs and all the nitty gritty, but I knew the franchise. It felt like it was my job to really understand everything and then throw it all away because Kelly wasn't supposed to know any of it, right? But what I didn't know before my screen test was how fucking terrifying the first movie actually is. Like, I thought it was just going to be silly and over the top and comedy-ish like Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness. But that first movie, I think it is one of, I know it's campy, but I think it's one of the scariest films in horror. That's just me. I think it's because of the giggles. When Betsy starts giggling,
yeah.
To me, just like in The Exorcist, just like in any horror film where evil is personified and it enjoys being evil, like, or even in thrillers like, the Joker, even when it's, the Tim Burton Joker with Jack Nicholson, when evil enjoys being evil, to me, that's the most terrifying it could be. So that giggle, and anytime Betsy Baker, when I see her, if we're doing cons, conventions together, she knows not to do it in front of me because fans realize I'm not nearly as cool as Kelly. And I like freak out hearing her giggle because it's so fucking creepy. That giggle alone is creepy. Anyway, so yeah, I knew enough. And I knew this before I started filming, but again, didn't know until the night before my screen test just how terrifying that first one was. Whew. Wow.
Well, this helped me to make you the second question. So,
okay, great.
Because the first movie was terrifying, but not just the movie, even the way in which it was filmed. There was a lot of. It was a nightmare for the actors.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah.
For many reasons. So my question is about your experience on a set of a TV series based on this franchise. I mean, there are some stories that go close to some of the story you heard from Betsy, or 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 it's very different. I mean, I suppose it's very different, but
It's not that
sometimes did you have to
not
do
even,
some
it's not
stunts?
that different. It's not that different. I let's put it this way. You know, look, Ted Raimi
Hmm.
as Henrietta says he almost died from heat stroke. Now, I don't know that I almost died, but I think I came pretty close when I got hypothermia filming the finale of season 1 outside in the rain in the cabin. And I forgot about it actually, but I've been going through, I'm so bad at posting on social media, and I was just going through, I'm sorry, it wasn't my phone reminded me, like, on this day 10 years ago, and this was just this week here we're recording this in July. It reminded me that 10 years ago, um you just see I might post it. You just see a picture of me with one of those like silver, like what they give to marathon runners, or when they give you when when you need to get your body temperature up. It like looks like tinfoil. That with I am covered. It's just a picture of me covered in stuff while everyone, well, a couple ADs and PAs are holding me with body heat because I got hypothermia because it was 30. It was what would that be in Celsius? I don't know, 0 degrees Celsius. When we were filming in the woods, and the rain, I was constantly wet, and the rain was fake, but it has to be cold rain.
Ooh.
Because, fun fact, yeah, guys, I have a whole new appreciation for anyone. I don't even care if it's a rom-com, for any actor that films any moment, like romantic or horror or otherwise, in the rain, just know they're freezing their ass off, because it is ice cold rain. Because if it's warm, it fogs up the camera. So it has
Ooh.
to be cold. So I would say, you know, if you've ever taken a cold shower on a hot day, it's still really cold. It's maybe refreshing for 30 seconds and then you're freezing, right? When it's, you know, 32 degrees in there, Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius, everyone's in big puffer coats, like looking around with scarves. And I'm like, you know, so that happened. Sorry, I went off on a tangent on that. My bad. It's because I'm reliving it. I'm not complaining, by the way, but you asked me if the conditions are the same. I mean, no, but yes, but you know, I also broke ribs. That was my own fault, though.
Ooh.
I'm not, by the way, none of this I'm blaming on anyone's fault. I just think it's honestly the Deadites or evil fucking with the actors on set. I don't think anybody's being malicious to make this shit happen. But like, I also did get electrocuted when I wasn't allowed to tell people. No, Rob Tapper said I'm allowed to tell people. I got electrocuted when I was possessed and tied up. I
Yeah,
don't even
yeah.
know how it happened. It was a trip they had, again, it was freezing, and they had a heating, like little heat, what is it called? Lamp or whatever. And then they were pouring like the water and the blood. I don't know, but something happened, something short circuited, but I was tied to a metal pole and I got
Oh
electrocuted
my God. My God.
and lived to tell the tale. Yeah. So yeah, conditions are basically the same. But that's
Even
why we love Evil Dead, because you know what? At the end of the fucking day, I don't remember that I had hypothermia or whatever it was. Like, I don't remember. I wasn't hospitalized, so maybe I didn't. But like, I don't remember that. I don't remember the pain of the. I mean, I do if I think about it, but it's not the first thing I remember. When I look back, or someone posts a picture of me in the blood tank, me in the, but Kelly in the cabin, that kind of stuff, the possessed stuff. I don't immediately like, oh, well, I remember how sore my ribs were from breaking and how nightmare that. No, I don't think of that. I think of like, man, that looks so awesome. And man, I'm so glad I got to do that. You know what I mean? Time does heal all wounds, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I feel like it's everybody in some way had something happen to them. So it's a rite of passage maybe for Evil Dead, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And I mean, working in
I'm
this.
giving such long answers. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. I love them. I
I
love. I mean, people
apologize.
love it. I mean,
I don't know. I feel like I know people say that people love it, but then on the rare occasion I go back and watch, I'm like, God, shut up, Dana. Like I wish I could edit myself. The problem is I don't know how to edit. Like I don't know how to edit in the moment because I relive it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
I'm describing it is how my brain is seeing it, like in a montage. Like before you die, I feel like I don't even need to see those montages before I die because I see them all the time. So I apologize, guys, if
Don't,
that
don't,
bear
don't,
with me. I'll try
don't
and
worry.
I started I closed it. I did start a stopwatch so I could see how long my answers were and stop at a certain point, but that's over now. Sorry.
Talking about the action, I mean, what was your relationship with the stunt performance? I mean, how many times your scenes were done by stunts, and sometimes did it ever happen that the stunt team had to convince you to do not something that you want to do or stuff like that?
Yes. Yes, a lot of great questions. So number one, I love doing stunts. That was one of my favorite parts of this whole experience was the training and that kind of stuff. A lot of times we trained for the stunts and then they ended up not letting us do them for insurance reasons, I guess. But we still had to learn them because you have to do the before and the after, right? I'd like to give credit to my main stunt double, Crystal Pratt, who took all the really serious hard knocks. I was just looking up a video the other day. You guys, stunt performers deserves all the credit because they make us look cool. But anytime Kelly is being brought up into the ceiling, like that was one, like they really hit them hard, right? When she was spit out of the blood cannon out of the cabin in the finale of season 1, that kind of stuff. I mean, I did get to do some of my own, but you could tell which ones are not mine or the ones that are mine. Like in the first episode with Deadite Mrs. Johnson, when she's about to put the finger in the eye, I really begged Sam to let me do it. So they put the harness on so that I could get dragged into the cupboard. But see, the people, the stunt team that's then doing all the wires and whatnot, they don't pull the actors as hard because they don't want to injure them, right? So in the end, I see why they wouldn't let us do it because they don't want to. I get it, but I really wanted to. But Crystal Pratt gets I want to give her all the praise. I got to do some awesome stunt driving that I've posted videos of that they never used, but I never got to shoot it really, is what I mean. I would say the one time, 2 times, I got to do it. One, actually do the stunt. One of them was not planned. It was because it was so dangerous. And my stunt double, Crystal, tore her ACL rehearsing it on set. So it was the scene with me and Lucy in season 2 fighting the tree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And man, I wish I could pull that up really quickly because I had to do it. And I had to do it right after I found out that my actual professional stunt double tore her ACL, her knee. She was out basically the rest of the season on crutches, which I felt bad as well because I'm like, oh God. But so then they needed someone to do it. So I had to literally just learn how to do it. And we filmed, I think I filmed for half a day being tied up with a harness, but on all 4 of my limbs, right? Upside down in the real woods of New Zealand with people yanking me. So I was going up and down, and then because it was like the vines of the tree.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
It looked so good. And I gave myself bad vertigo because I was like really just going for it, not realizing when you're upside down for half a day, you can't whiplash. I gave myself whiplash, whatever. I don't know what I'm doing. I just want to make it look good for the story, right? And realistic. And then they didn't end up using it at all, really. And I was like, no, I was so proud of it. That I got to do. And then when I broke my ribs the second time, broke my ribs season 1, but that was on a dumb thing, just falling. And if that doesn't even matter, it was in the scene. I was supposed to fake fall when they're chasing us with the militia. And then Pablo comes in and goes, gotcha. It was a fake fall for my character. It was a decoy, right? It wasn't supposed to look real. And I, on rehearsal, broke my rib on the fake, stupid, dumb fall. Okay, neither here nor there. But when so that was the first time I broke my rib. Second time, season 2, when I was up in the rafters. Now they had Crystal go up and get the hit in the back, but I had to be up there kind of doing other things with, I forget what it was. But yeah, those were the times. But then the fight stuff, we did any of the big hits the stunt people would take. So we would have to do like that big fight scene with Lucy and I in season 3, which was so awesome to do. We would rehearse it with each of us would rehearse with our stunt opposite. And then but we also had to shoot it together. We just couldn't come close to, really doing it. And then I would do the stunt really hard with Lucy's stunt double. And then Lucy would do the scene really hard with my stunt double. But of course, and luckily at this point, Lucy and I were close and friends, but like still, I wept, I cried. Of course, I hit her. We were just rehearsing it to get because we had to break it down so much, you know what I mean? Because it's a lot involved. When I take the curtain rod, I just remember I just had to whatever it was. Yeah. And I fucking hit her. I hit Lucy Lawless in the face. She says she doesn't even, I feel like I brought it up to her in the last couple of years or whenever I saw her last, which a couple of years now, 2019, 2020, 2021, somewhere on there. And I was like, man, I still can't believe I hit you in the face. I feel really bad. And I'm glad I did not ruin that perfect face of yours. She's like, I don't even remember. And I'm like, okay, good. Well, glad I just reminded you. She's so fucking cool. And she's so like Lucy basically also can do a lot of her own stuff. Like she did a lot of that stuff on Xena. She's so badass. I can't say enough about Lucy. She's so awesome. And Dana Grant, her name, Dana, we're the Dana train. Dana was Lucy's main stunt double, also on Xena, but on our show as well. So yeah. God, I feel like that was a 20-minute answer. I'm sorry.
No. Don't worry.
I wish I could find that clip. I won't be able to find it now, but that clip of what I got to do. If I find it, I'll let you know. I know when it was. I just got to see if it's still on here. All right, next. Sorry.
Yeah. No worry. You don't have to be sorry. I mean, everything is cool and interesting for anyone watching this. So.
I'm already like, I think I'm zoning out myself. I think my own brain is zoning out of my own voice. So I should just stop. Okay.
So let's talk about Kelly Maxwell. And props, apparel. I don't know if I'm spelling it well. Props and costumes. Okay.
Oh, wardrobe. Yeah. Costume.
Yeah, wardrobe. Yeah. Was there a particular costume or accessory that really helped you click in the character? I mean,
I would say that from day one, because Barbara Dara was our wardrobe designer, and she she reached out even, I would say 2 months before I even flew out there. So we found out in February of 2015. And I would say like a week or two after that, she and I were emailing, and we were sending each other pictures. And I really credit her. I credit everybody from the writers to hair and makeup to everybody. I wrote an article about this. Sorry, I know I sound like I'm going off on a tangent. I'm not, but I just remembered I wrote an article about this on iHorror, I think, years ago, called "It Takes a Village to Raise a Strong Female Character." This is what I mean, is that I give credit to everybody involved helping make Kelly what she was, because Sam Raimi set the bar and made it very collaborative and was very open to ideas, but that trickled down to everybody. So like Barbara with the costumes, I had never been able to create a character that was going to last more than an episode or two, right? So all I did was just, she was asking me questions about colors and this and that. And she said, look, since Ash wears the same outfit all the time, Pablo and Kelly are going to change, but they're going to have kind of their hero colors. So Bruce is always in his blue shirt, that indestructible blue shirt. I mean, Ash. And then Pablo and Kelly would have their colors, right? And then they would play around with that. Everything I just threw out there of like what I instinctively just saw the character solely on the auditions. And I don't even think I had the first episode yet. I don't think we even had the full pilot, or maybe we did, but it changed anyway. But like, this isn't like I got all the scripts. I just said to her, hey, I feel like, she's really scrappy. She turns in, I just feel like she cuts her own shirts. She makes her own jewelry. She's really cool that way. She doesn't give a shit. Kind of rock and roll, kind of messy. Nothing's really perfect. I don't know. I feel like red is a good power color. Purple is a good power color, that kind of stuff. She ran with it and was like, took every little thing I said down to the anchors. The reason I wear an anchor. Oh, sorry. I didn't even answer your question, but I'll tell you, let me finish that thought. The reason I wear an anchor is once I found out we got cast in the beginning of February of 2015, I kept seeing, I don't know how to explain it. There were like, I love nautical things, like the ocean. I love all that stuff anyway, but I kept seeing anchors everywhere, in everything, whether it was, when I was working at the bar and it was a customer had an anchor, all these, I just kept seeing anchors. And then, so I said, I'm like, that feels like there's some meaning to that. I don't know what that means, but then that started seeping into what I was thinking about Kelly. And then I found out Auckland, which is where we shot, was the city of sails, like with all the boats. And I was like, oh my God, it's a sign. So I mentioned just later on with the bar, I was like, oh, by the way, maybe if we can have hide a little, just for me, just to remember this moment before I start shooting of this excitement and fear and just before I start, I just want to be reminded of this moment and all the things I'm feeling. Can we have a little anchor, maybe just put it somewhere, we can hide it, whatever. She took that and ran with it. And we put an anchor on every single thing that Kelly wore, always had an anchor. It's hidden sometimes you never even see it, but I saw it. So in terms of, to answer your question with that very long answer, when was the first time? From day one of putting on, not necessarily the value stop, but there was purple and I had the anchor necklace. But I would say when did I get the purple leather jacket? But I was trying those on before we started filming, you know what I mean? But I feel like even the Wingin' It shirt, but definitely the first purple shirt and right away with the rings, everything was so meticulous, the boots, that all of it, I felt like Kelly. And then it really, when those jackets started coming in and they started making them and they were different every time. I know it always seems like the same, but it's not. I think I didn't wear the same jacket more than 2 episodes. And every new piece of jewelry that would come in, like there was little, like we anyway, I can go on and on about that. No one cares, but there were so many, like I could do a whole episode on the little hidden meanings of things each season. And like, you know, season 1, Kelly's rings spelled out things that pertain to the episode, like home, help, what were some of the other ones? They were only a certain amount of letters, but it like things that would allude to what was happening. Anyway, she was so cool. Barbara was so cool. So yeah, I felt like Kelly the moment I got to have the wild hair and the cool jewelry, all of it, honestly. I'm gonna stop. Sorry. I'm so nostalgic is the problem. Because now that I keep realizing it's 10 years, because it doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, I feel the same because
trying to hold on to it. So like I'm reliving every single stupid moment that no one else cares about but me. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't do that. I should tell you guys more interesting things.
no, but it's always interesting what you are telling us. So
what are you gonna say right now? Are you, Emanuele? You wouldn't actually say, well, yeah, you're boring as fuck. Shut the fuck up. Let's go.
No, absolutely not.
You wouldn't say that though. I would commend you, but that's what I want to say. I feel like that's what the listeners will say.
And did you keep something about this apparel, these costumes? Did you keep something?
I did. I got to keep I kept a few, and then they were being auctioned, some of them through a separate auction from my personal collection. But I did, because look, I think I kept probably more than right now, all that I have the cup. I think I have multiple of the name tag.
Mm-hmm.
Just because that was the value stop name tag. Yeah. I kept the purple jacket I wore in season 2. One of them that was my favorite. It was like I wore it, I think, the longest, season 2, but it had like anchor vintage buttons. And I think I wore that with either the puppet fight or the end of season 2, like 8, 9, 10. And pair of jeans, couple pairs of shoes, and all the jewelry. And and then I also kept a Winging It sweatshirt when my mom, when Kelly's mom dies, and one of my favorite shirts, because we weren't allowed to keep too much, like it was kind of under the, because they were going to auction it, and they were but I kept it's a shirt from season 1, episode 3. But I just really, again, it's because Barbara found a shirt or made a shirt that was exactly what I thought Kelly was, which was like, if she wasn't fighting Deadites, she would have been a sailor or a pirate on the seas. But so it says, there's no place I'd rather be than on a boat upon the sea, which also tied into, weirdly, sorry, this is another weird coincidence. I asked Craig DiGregorio, the showrunner, season 1 and 2, when it came out in episode 2, like when we're reading the table read, we're reading the script at the table read for the first time while we're shooting, and it says the scene between Mimi Rogers and Bruce Campbell, my mom, and he's like, what do you do, Mom? And she's like, I'm a teacher. What do you teach? English. Oh yeah. What's your favorite book? The Old Man and the Sea. The Old Man. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I think that's synchronicity. And so I asked Craig, did you know that like anchors were popping up for me before I came, and they have symbolic like meaning now to me. And now Kelly's wearing anchors and everything. Did you know that when you wrote that as her mom's favorite book? He's like, no. Like, so you see him saying it all kind of, I don't know. See, I geek out about
connection. Yeah.
Yes, because synchronicity, I like to say. Yeah.
Well, we were talking about season 2, and in season 2 something happened. To be precise, just a moment. Oh, I lost the question.
I know what you're gonna add. Go ahead. Yes, I know what you're gonna add. To be precise.
Okay. Here it is. Your character went through a version of the story that ended up being quite different from what was originally planned, especially around the season 2 finale. How did you experience those last minute changes? Did they affected your daily routine? You have to reshoot something, or it was before filming, so no problem at all?
Great question. It was before we filmed whatever that scene was supposed to be. Like, I don't think I think everybody, because it's been out there for a minute, but I think everybody should know so that everyone's on the same page. It was at the end of season 1. I was told that then Kelly was at the end of by the end of season 2, we were going to find out that Kelly was Ash's daughter, but it was explained to me in a way that was like, it's not necessarily permanent. It's just going to be the ending of season 2 to leave it on sort of a cliffhanger, because then I think it was supposed to be that when we go back in time, Ash screws up the timeline and has the same conversation that I was just saying right now about what do you teach? English, what's your favorite book? The Old Man. He was supposed to have the same conversation with my mom, with Kelly's mom, but she was going to be the younger version. It wasn't going to be Mimi Rogers' age. It was going to be the young Kelly's mom age, right? And so by doing that, it was going to rewrite history and make Kelly then Bruce's daughter. But then that means to make Kelly Ash's daughter, but then Kelly doesn't in fact then exist in a way. So they hadn't explained all of that to me. It was just what it was going to basically be, is that Kelly was then, her whole existence doesn't exist. So then, even though she's like written in the book now, or was being written in the book because he screwed up with a timeline, Kelly was going to be dragged down to hell because she's not the Kelly that we know now. And it was going to then be a start. It was going to end that season. And then hopefully, if we got picked up for season 3, which we did, they were going to find a way to go hit the undo button, as Ash always does. Yeah. So, in fairness, I don't think it was supposed to be a permanent thing, but we were working up to that. But again, it's not something I was going to play, like, even though I knew that, Kelly didn't know that was going to happen. So, even though I found little moments to maybe draw connections based on what they wrote, like, oh, you're like the daughter I never had, and then I would like wink or something. Fine, we'd have these little moments, but we didn't shoot any of that. And I found out when I was in the asylum, where I said something like, oh, hey, I was saying to Bruce or something, you have any advice for fighting my own hand? Because I was doing that coming up, and he was like, yeah, don't fuck it up or something. And so then I feel like I found out that whole storyline was scrapped in passing. Like, it was like, I think I had an idea of like, hey, I want to think of like one little thing I can do as an homage to Ash in Evil Dead 2 that then will be really interesting when Ash goes and screws up with the timeline, and then it reveals that Kelly is his daughter. And then I think it was Rick Jacobson who just said, oh yeah, you're not his daughter anymore. Kelly's not going to be his daughter anymore. We're changing that. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay. Well, Evil Dead, we'll figure it out, So I have to say it wasn't it was maybe jarring just because we were working towards that, I think, but it didn't really affect anything we had shot for the most part. And it wasn't going to be permanent from what I understood anyway. I guess we'll never know what it was supposed to be. But I think I very quickly, in a way, was relieved, because then I feel like either A, that would have been so much pressure to try and figure if she was supposed to stay the daughter. I don't know. But also then I kind of feel like maybe they did that because I don't know why they did it, but I'm saying, I don't think this is why they ended up changing it. But in a way, it almost takes away from Kelly. You know what I'm saying? It becomes then Kelly is only Kelly because of nepotism.
Yeah.
Which basically, as opposed to Kelly is Kelly because Kelly is Kelly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is that,
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it. Like
Give
Kelly
strong to the
learned from
character.
Ash.
Yeah.
Right. And Kelly learned on the fly, but to then it almost takes away some of her badassery, because then it's like, oh, well, of course she's been she's learned to become this scrappy badass. Oh, because now she's Ash's daughter. I kind of like that she did it on her fucking own in a way, you know?
Yeah.
And to be honest, I really was happy that we got a whole other storyline to go to, because you need to I think that's probably why they did it. You can't just have, it would have been fine, but you need fresh, like, blood every season, no pun intended, right? You know, we had the great Samara Weaving and the hikers in season 1, and so many of those other characters that were coming in to be victims. So we needed someone like Ariel Carver O'Neill, who's one of my best friends now, after getting to work together. And we needed that whole high school story. There was so much other stories that came out of that, you know?
Yeah. I love season 3.
Yeah. Or in season 2 with like Peppy Sanuga, who played the sheriff's daughter. She had such a great Deadite stuff. And the car with Christine, you know, that Christine homage where it's and Lee Majors, you know, of course you have the legends like Lee Majors and Ted and that kind of stuff. But like for the younger fresh blood, I think that lended itself to, you know, bringing in more stuff. I don't know. That's why I'm not a writer or a showrunner. I just hope we could serve this story in whatever way was best for Ash and for the Evil Dead franchise in general.
Okay, I have just last 2 questions.
You can, yeah, I know. I took too much time. So if you need to, don't worry about me. I can go a little longer. So if you want to,
Okay.
you had.
I try to be shorter anyway. I try to be
No,
shorter.
it's not you that needs to be short. It's me. I'm the one talking the entire time. All right, I am going to set a timer this time. I am. Timer, and go ahead. So I guess what I meant is ask what you want to ask. Don't not
Okay.
ask another
So the
question
first one is
I'm talking too much.
you played Kelly. Okay. Then you
Did
have
I? I don't know.
you had no
Did
you had
she
known
play me, or did
you had
Kelly play me? Whoa! Go ahead. Sorry. Now I'm sorry. I turned off my air conditioning, so now it's hot and I'm sweaty and I'm being stupid. Go ahead.
and then you had to know.
I did set a time, a stopwatch. It didn't work. Okay, 46 minutes was my last answer. Scusi.
And sorry. Okay, so you played Kelly, and by the time you had the possibility to know, as we said, a lot of actors from the franchise, and maybe even in a sort of way their character. So, do you have a favorite character? And in another life, would you like to play another character in the Evil Dead universe?
Oh, that's such a great question. I would, let's see. I feel like I would really love to play Mia. Like, I would have loved a role like Mia. I think that's such. I mean, Jane Lee, she killed it. No pun intended. But I also I feel like that was such an awesome version of it of the character. I'd also, to be completely honest, I think like I think I would just really, really wish I could have played a Deadite, like an actual Deadite.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who never got to play. Where. I got to play Possessed, and I'm not complaining, but I really wanted to see what the writers and what everybody, all of us, could come up with for a Kelly Deadite. You know, because Ella Goss, when Kelly was possessed, that was Ella Goss.
Yes, you have black eyes, not
right,
white
but
ones.
it was the possessed, right? But what was still the reason, and with the teeth and why it all looked like that, was it was the blue, you know, demon that we summoned in the circle. So it wasn't, and then the whole Kaya thing, that kind of changed. I was supposed to, I don't really, that was a whole, that was just different. So I had to kind of, I didn't know, because I had never seen what Kaya was going to look like or talk like. So I feel like even still though, that was still Kaya coming through Kelly, but a Kelly Deadite. I'll tell you what I wish. I'll even give you a third bonus to that question you asked. If I could have an alternate ending, I know people might not like it, but I really, for the sake of the character and for the story, would have loved if Kelly died, really just died at the end of the fight with Ruby. Because from the beginning, she says more than once, all through every season, if I die, I want to go down swinging. Like I want, like she was out for revenge, kind of like, oh, guy, I almost spoiled another show, but there's another show, an Ozarks, if anyone's a fan. I won't say the character, but there's a character that happens to, and everyone was so mad about it. And I was like, no, that's fucking awesome. That is exactly what it's hard to watch, but it's like what the character was all about. And I would have loved for Kelly to die, going against Ruby, one last showdown, really giving it her all, and then being a Deadite Kelly.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then it could be Brandy and Pablo and Ash at the end of the world, you know? I know it would be heartbreaking, but I feel like that's what good stories are, you know?
Yeah.
Life is messy and life isn't perfect. And I really I'm glad as the actor I got to stay, obviously, and I got to be there, obviously. Selfishly, I'm glad. But if I could have an alternate director's cut, Dana's cut version, I would love to see what would have happened if Kelly just died. That moment, there was no Kaya, and, you know, then we got to see Kelly as a Deadite, and then finito, you know?
Yeah. Sorry, you talked about season 3. The last scene you shoot was the one in which you were close in the car and say goodbye, or it was last? Okay, it was the last day on set for you.
No, that wasn't the last day. I think my very, very last scene was on second unit, which basically means that's where we shoot additional stuff, or whenever Bruce wasn't in it, or like any sort of, you know, close-up things of props or whatever we had to do. So what my actual last scene was I was screaming out the Delta. I was screaming out the window of the Delta. I think I was looking at Dalton. It was it was just me and the Delta, and it was just the camera getting where I was like screaming. But I think it's when Dalton dies.
Yes.
Like I think it's going back an episode or two.
Yeah.
But that was my last shot on the entire show. The last scene I shot with, I think I took video. My last scene on main unit with Bruce was when I was dead in the car.
Okay.
So I didn't really, it's when I think he was drinking the Shems.
Yeah.
I think. But I just had to play dead, which is so appropriate in so many ways. But I got some good, I'm really grateful for that because I got that, like that basically meant, you know, anytime in between takes, I could like just shoot the shit with Bruce and yeah, it's fun. I miss it.
That's cool.
Miss it.
And this is the last question. Looking forward, are there any upcoming projects or dream roles you'd love to take on?
Upcoming projects, a couple irons in the fire. One of them is an indie film, a comedy I'm really excited about, but I don't know when it's coming out or anything, so I won't even plug that just yet. Don't want to put the cart before the horse. But you guys can follow me on socials. I'm Dana DeLorenzo on Instagram and all the other ones, I believe. And then Facebook is Dana DeLorenzo Official, I think.
Yeah.
But a dream role. Yeah, I'd love to. Oh, I just thought of it the other day. What was it? I was like, oh man, that would be so good. Or Cher would play my mom. What was I just thinking of? I'd love to do, I don't think we need to remake anything, to be honest. But if they ever did a remake of My Cousin Vinny or Moonstruck, I'd love to play either of those characters. But I do not think we need to. I do not think we need to remake those. They're perfect. Let's leave them alone. And yeah, man, I feel like I wouldn't mind dying in the Terrifier movie. I wouldn't mind some sort of bloody, really intense thing in Terrifier. You know? Or Jaws, if they ever do another Jaws. How about that? Those are some dream roles. Those are such opposite ends of the spectrum. Moonstruck and My Cousin Vinny and Jaws, Terrifier. Oh,
they are so gory. They are so gory.
Yeah, they are so gory. I know. Maybe it's because they've been on my mind recently. I guess if they ever do a godmother instead of godfather, I've been working on my Brando. Do you want to hear it? My version of Brando?
Yeah, absolutely.
I made him an offer he couldn't refuse. I feel like nailed it.
It's great.
You call it the godmother. Hey. Stupid.
I love it.
So
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so silly. See, now I'm overheated and silly. But I really enjoyed talking.
Here is warm here too. So
hey, I just saw your shirt. You should show it to the audience.
Yeah.
What is? Yeah, dude. Is that him in the? Is that like the season 3 ending?
Yes, it's the season 3 ending. Yeah.
I've never seen that shirt before. That's very cool.
I have even one with the trio with the Ghostbeaters, but I cannot find in the mess I have.
It's probably dirty. It probably needs to be washed. You know, it's in the laundry. Tell the Deadites to do it already. Or the Deadites are just still fucking with us like they did at the beginning, and we had to re-record again. See, they hid that shirt from you.
Yeah,
the one you wanted, but that one's super cool. But yeah, I just thank you so much for asking such great questions. I'm sorry for all the answers, and to anyone who is still watching, but anyone who did watch, I just want to thank the fans because for 10 years, you guys have listened to me say shit like this all for hours and hours and hours, and I just thank you, Emanuele, and thank Evil Dead Italia and all the fans all around the world who have embraced us Kelly and Pablo and all the characters into this world. I feel so grateful. There's not a day that goes by I don't miss it. And I just want to thank you all because you guys keep the show alive for me. You keep Kelly alive for me. And it was the dream job I always wanted. And I'm really grateful I got to be part of it. And I'm really grateful you guys watched it. So thank you for all the ways you enriched my life then and continue to fill my bloody heart and soul with love and so much passion. I thank you all, really, bottom of my heart. There's
Thank
me.
you.
There's Kelly Maxwell being all mushy.
Thank you very much. And have a good day. Have a
Okay.
good night or good day, because I don't know. Here is night. I don't know.
It's wherever we are in the world in some timeline, it's both day and night. So good night, good morning, and good luck. Grazie.
Good night.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao. Ciao. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.